And there we go. Yay. Okay, I think we've got this figured out. Let's open up the chat and welcome. Okay, let's move that just a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be scrapbooking together. Hopefully you have your projects to work on. I have a project to work on too. And this is what it's about. So 2020 has been a year that kicks you when you're down, right? Like it is like that playground bully that just it's been rough. If you have had a different experience this year, I am so happy for you. And there are moments though. There are moments that I really enjoyed this year. And I think to write off the whole year would be really unfair, right? Isn't that unfair to write off a whole year because, a whole bunch of it is bad? Like, I think that's unfair. And so today I want to focus on 20 things that made me happy this year, 20 things that I enjoyed this year. And I think that that's the best way to go forward. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alice Boll and I run the membership group at scraphappy.org. And I'm so excited to see some of our friends in the house today. We've got Misty saying hello, hello. And hello from rainy Oakville, Ontario, says Vicky. Thank you, Vicky, for the heads up. I know, I'm like so terrible. Sharon says hi. Amy says hello. This is wonderful. So thank you so much for joining me. If you're catching the replay, type in the thing, say T replay or something like that. Just let me know that you're catching it on the replay, which is super fun. So, okay, 20 things. I did a whole podcast. I was like, yes, I'm going to make a podcast that talks about 20 things that I enjoyed. It was actually inspired the one day I'm like, this year was a tough year. What are the things that I'm thankful for? So it all really started from a place of thankfulness. And I think that anytime we're starting from that place, then we're kind of starting from a good place, right? And so I did a whole podcast episode. It is the 20th episode of the ScrapHappier Podcast for my 20 in 2020. And I'll say, like, this was kind of inspired. Hello, Nadine and Heather. Leslie's here from Orlando. Oh my gosh. This was kind of inspired by something that I've done in previous years where I've taken like the top 10 photos of a year or the top 12 photos in 2012, or I've done a few pages like that where I pick some of my favorite pictures and I make the page about those specific pictures from that year. However, with this year, I decided to do something different because I'm focusing on these 20 moments. I don't necessarily have pictures that define every moment, and I actually have a lot more photos that kind of describe the layers of these moments. So I've decided to do a page that's kind of based on like thumbnail sized images. So they're a little bit bigger than thumbnail. Like they're little, right? So little tiny pictures. I've got 8 of them on a 4x6. And I think that, they're kind of like a little peek. For some of us, we might need to get our magnifying glasses out to really look at them. But a lot of these pictures, I've actually scrapbooked already this year. As the year went by, anything that was a good moment ended up in my scrapbooks. Let's just say the good stuff was easily represented this year. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And I didn't actually print all of the photos that I wanted to from this. Like maybe I'll print some more. I think we'll see how it goes today, right? But let's just run down my list really quick to give you an idea. Donna is here. She says, good afternoon. Diane, you're so sweet. She says, don't forget to hit the like button. Sandy says, good morning. Oh, I'm so happy to see you here. So thank you so much for joining me. It is such a delight. So chickens. I have to start here with chickens. Chickens kind of ruled my 2020. We started off by getting 6 hens and a rooster from my mother-in-law in the spring. We also got some eggs and we hatched the eggs. Hatching eggs is the most fun. Oh, I didn't see you. Hatching eggs is the most fun ever. And so chickens kind of became a thing. Getting the first egg from our chickens was like super exciting. I'll show you that picture just up close here. That was me getting my first egg that the chickens laid for me. I was like, yes. But then my son, my oldest son, he lost his job, right? Like we have been hit over and over by things in our family too by this year. I wasn't getting in the email that I just sent out to invite everybody here. I'm like, the words that we've used this year, right? It's like dumpster fire and train wreck. And I'm like, but I think that's putting that doesn't allow me to fit the good into it. And I have to focus. Yeah, Debbie. So nice to see my friends here. But I think it's not fair to just paint the whole year with a brush and say that everything was terrible. There were good moments. Hanging out with my scrapbooking friends, huge big moment. Okay, so chickens, automating our chickens. My son set up all kinds of crazy things. Joe was like a little tech wizard, setting up automatic feeders and cameras, just like amazing. Like it's amazing the things that he set up for automating the door that lets the chickens in and out of the coop. Yeah, crazy. Zooms with friends and family, or FaceTimes with friends and family, and so hilarious. I had just some really, really, if it wasn't for Zoom, I would definitely be leaning more dumpster fire, right, for this year. But thankfully, being able to connect with people has made such a difference. When they relaxed us enough that we could go into small groups, right, that made a big difference in my year. Because then we took the RV and we went and we parked it in my brother's backyard, and we would sit around the fire at night and, be outside. So that was really great. Hello, Emmy from Belgium. And Amy has a mug that reminds her of me. Well, that's cool. Hopefully it's a happy mug. I was a little worried, actually. This is my mug, and it says, "This is a reminder that you can handle whatever this week throws at you." And I'm like, this is not a challenge. This is just reminding me to be strong. So Patty says, "Hi, Alice. I'm with you on finding the good." So thank you. That is the goal. Camping, RVing, gas prices even went down to cheap this year. Our gas prices are usually the year before they were $1.30. Even I saw $1.40 in some places, but about $1.20, $1.30 per liter, which is crazy because you can buy pop for cheaper than you can buy gasoline. But maybe it's harder to make. I don't know. Probably. I've seen some of the workers. But yeah, it's just crazy how much gas. It went down to 50 cents a liter this summer. I haven't seen that since I was a teenager, so that was amazing. And then, of course, we didn't have anywhere to go. It was just of course. But we went to my brother's backyard. We went to my mom and dad's backyard. Coronavirus haircuts. I know, Gina's that's cheap. I know. Canada. I need a chicken ladybug, says Debbie. Oh my God. Jackie says this is like scrapbooking therapy, much less expensive than retail therapy. I've done some of that too. I'm actually surprised that's not technically on my list, but we spent a lot of time in our hot tub this year, and normally we only use the hot tub in the winter, which sounds backwards, but mosquitoes, seriously, they're horrible. And this year I bought a tent that goes over top of the hot tub so that we could use it. And my husband was like, "Ugh, I don't want to sit in the tent." But it was a screen tent. It was you could still see outside. Yes, you couldn't see the stars as much and you couldn't see some of the stuff, but we get to sit there. And honestly, like normally in the summer when we try to sit in the hot tub, it's like we bring on a toque. I take a dish towel and wear it on my shoulders like I'm a little kid pretending to be a Superman. Like you're just trying to cover as much of you as possible. So I think that that's been, such a big change having the tent so that we didn't get devoured by mosquitoes and could actually enjoy our hot tub. Going on, embracing some of the things, the 2020 things, like the baking. Okay, so I didn't do sourdough bread, but I did do cookies and banana muffins. I made more banana muffins this year than I probably did in the last 5 years combined, and I love making them, and I use my aunt's recipe, and so good. Donna says, what's the difference between a liter and a gallon? So a gallon is like 4 liters. Yeah, it's about that. Like that's the rough conversion that we kind of use. But yeah, that's a lot. A gallon is a few liters. Yeah. I'm pretty our big milk jugs that we use are like 4 liters, and they're like a gallon, like roughly a gallon. Baking, crocheting. I dove into Duolingo on my phone, and I 3.75. Thank you, Diane. That was very specific. Language learning. I did some of that this year. My husband bought a smoker, and we've been smoking meat. So briskets and roasts and steaks, potatoes. If you have never had potatoes on the smoker, those are a huge win. We usually poke them and put them in the microwave first to pre-cook them, and then you put them on the smoker to kind of finish them off, bring in some of that smoke flavor. Oh my gosh. I tried mac and cheese, chicken. Oh, yeah, the smoker has been a highlight this year. I think I was meant to be like a Southern girl loving the Texas barbecue kind of stuff, because I love that so much. Another highlight, Scrap Smarter experience, bringing everybody together. We couldn't do our in-person reunion for the Scrap Happy family this year, so instead I hosted this other event, brought together all these amazing instructors. I was like, oh, they said yes. And it was so fun. We learned some new skills, and just, it was great. I launched the ScrapHappier Podcast. It's been like something that I've wanted to do, kind of like this passion project for years, and finally made that happen. Gardening, we got off to the best start ever on gardening. Then I'm a really bad person when it comes to weeding the garden. Real confession, it's true. But my tomatoes did amazing. I planted them like in between the flowers in my flower bed. They did fantastic. The potatoes in the garden did great. We had a little bit of lettuce, and then the deer got it. We had a little bit of, we did have some carrots too. They were a little skinny, but they were good. But pretty much like the other stuff, either deer got into it, like they ate all my beet tops, and then the beets didn't grow, and like just stinking deer. We need a better fence next year. Better fence. So gardening. I said tomatoes, potatoes, and weeds. Yes, I grew weeds like a brilliant. If I wanted to grow them, I'm sure they wouldn't grow so good. Maybe I need to rethink that strategy. My son Ryan moved away, which I was so excited for him. I still cried, but I was really excited for him. And then he just moved back here recently, and I was really excited for me. So, it's funny how it's like going on holidays, right? It's good when they come, and it's good when you go, and it's good to come home, it's both, right? My son Joe apprenticed with Jonas. Joe became my tech guy for all of my tech stuff, and it's like such a better experience. My hubby does all of our grocery shopping and errands. This is like one thing. I'm like, I wish I had discovered this earlier. He doesn't mind doing it, and I hate it. I hate having to go and get the mail. I hate having to go to the grocery store. So now that he does all that stuff, I'm just like, yes. So that's a great thing. I've really enjoyed the memes. Like the memes this year, people your humor is strong. Let's just say your humor is strong. And just hanging out with our Scrap Happy members and like the live things that we've done, like that whole Happy at Home series we did in the spring. I played with so many different things and showed off so many different skills and techniques, and just I had the best time playing, and it's hanging out here like on YouTube. So that series was so super fun. And the kind of surprising thing, Sharon says, my hubby does all the grocery shopping. I love it. And like, generally he just gets the stuff I put on the list. I have to be really specific, but it works. Spending time with myself and doing things that I love. Getting back to my priorities. This year really brought me back around to that, because I couldn't be running off in all these directions and doing all these things that take the focus off of maybe the things I want to do. So if anything, those are some of the great things from this year. And that's what I want to put onto a page today. Now, the 20 things and an assortment of photos, which I don't even think, I still want to print more. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just like find ways to build it into the page, and I think we should dig into that. Okay. Yeah, so this started with like just a really random list on a scratch piece of paper in my kitchen, and then it actually turned into something, so that was great. Diane says, I'm like that as well. I act like a child if I have to go with them to the grocery store, whining to go home. So funny. Like, at one time, shopping was fun for me. It's just not anymore. I'm just happy to get the things that I need online if I can. I wish I had like delivery right to my house from Amazon. Man, that would just be great. Okay, so let's put this to the side. I've got a few random things. I don't know if I'm going to use those, but I'm going to use these. Let's see how this camera looks. And let's set up. Oh, yeah, it's going to work. Okay, that's good. Can I bring this a little closer? Oh, not very much. Okay. So we'll see how this goes here. I might have to move some stuff or move myself a little. Yeah, doesn't like to move. Things are kind of built in. But I've grabbed some letters because I especially wanted the numbers, because I think that having the numbers for these will be super good. Then these ones actually have different little numbers. So this is a Heidi Swapp kit. It's rather old. I know I got it a few years ago, and I think it wasn't new then. But this is, there are little numbers in here. So you can see all the way to 31 days. So these little numbers, actually there's versions of them. They're actually from a calendar. The idea was this was going to go on to little calendar pages. So the fact that this isn't going on the calendar, but it's going on this, kind of makes it perfect, right? So then I'll have all the numbers that I need. And then I love this paper so much. This is Heidi Swapp Hawthorne collection. If you didn't see her Hawthorne collection, you will today, and it is beautiful. It is old, not like crazy old, like 2 years old or something, but it is so rich and lovely. And I think that when I'm going to scrapbook about things that I love from this year, I should use paper that I really love too, right? Like, that's definitely what I should do. Let's see. My Artful Adventures. Hey, Christy. Nobody is so questioning it if I say I have to stay home to get stuff done. Yeah, like, it's like, oh, I have to stay home. Darn it. Yeah, I think that's it's kind of hilarious. So I have all kinds of papers. I've dug into this pack before. It is beautiful and lovely. There's so many pretty papers in it. Oh my gosh. And I have extra sheets that probably aren't from the pack. That's these ones here. But what I think I'm going to do, because this page is never going to have enough room to fit all the pictures that I want and the stories that I want to put on, because, like, you know, all of those 20 things need a little bit of a description to them. I grabbed out this package of flip flaps. So they're from Close to My Heart. If somebody here is a Close to My Heart consultant, can you let us know? Because I'm not anymore. I was years ago, but I haven't been for ages. But please tell me if you still have these, the large size ones like this, because they're so fun. Betsy says the weekly Happy at Home videos were so fun. I always loved it when you showed your finished layouts. My first load, which was Addie load, was definitely one of my highlights for 2020. We did a layout a day based on the Beatles. That was so fun. Like, I did not know enough about the Beatles, I tell you. Like, I just did not know. And they're geniuses. And now I know this. Like, it's not like I didn't appreciate their music before, but now I love it. I listened to so much Beatles music this year because of that. So these things are so cool. So they go onto the outside of your page protector, and they have this little strip. So you just kind of fold this part over, and then you'll peel off the little sticky strip, and attaches to the outside of your page protector. And then you have your page. Let's pretend that we have a page here. Then you have your page, and you can literally have a flap that opens up and gives you a whole bunch of extra space. Here, let me see. This? Yeah. So then you can see like all the extra space. Like, how cool is that, right? Okay. They come in different sizes. So this one is like 4 inches, and these ones are 6 inches. And then they even have some that are 8 inches. So if you use a 4 and an 8, is this 4? Okay, let me double check. Yeah, it's 4. Okay. And maybe this one isn't 8. Maybe this is a 6. Okay, so I thought they had 8, 12 inch assorted sizes. Okay, this one is 6. Oh, this one is also 6. Okay, I'm good at math today. If there's a different size in here, oh, maybe there is. There we go. I told you there was 8. I'm not losing my mind. Maybe piece by piece. But anyways, you can make like flaps that open. So if you wanted to do like a skinny flap and a wide flap, like just think of how much extra space you have while still kind of keeping it on one page, right? And you could just use one flap, you could use 2, you could use more. It's really fun. But I think that for this, I think it'd be super fun to use a couple of flaps so that the page opens like a book and tells us about the things that were actually good this year. Janet says, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, and she says, God. Oh, she said, God afternoon, everyone. And she said, good and God. There you go. You've covered the bases, Janet. Donna says she saw Paul McCartney live in concert. Ooh. Okay, that's just cool. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use 2. I'm going to do a small one and a big one, because I think that will be a good way to kind of do like a column here. Is this paper already 4 inches? Oh, look at that. It's really close. I might have to trim it, but it's perfect almost. Donna, thank you. Look at this. She says flip flaps, 2x2, 3x3, 3x4, 4x4, 4x6, 5x7, 6x12, and 8x12, and maybe 4x12 as well. Yeah, because I'm assuming they still have like the large pack. The small ones, like okay, so let's just like take a second. I need my face back on here. If you do any kind of pocket scrapbooking, you need these. Or at least I did. I could not pocket scrapbook until I used flip flaps, because they come in like sizes like 3x4 and 4x6. You can like expand your size. Like, I know when I'm making one of those pocket pages, I'm always like, I have one more picture, or this isn't that pretty because I have all this journaling to write. You put that flap on there, you got like 2 extra spots. And oh my gosh, it was like the best. Yeah, Betsy's like, lucky girl, Donna. I bet that was a great concert. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let's dive into this. This is, yeah, that could be perfect if this is already pre-cut. I like this paper potentially as my background. Oh, but look at these florals. That would make a really nice like background for all of these little thumbnail images that I have. Some are going to be sideways, some are going to be vertical, horizontal, vertical. I probably have a few more that I still want to print, but I think this is going to be pretty great. And then when I flip it out, I can have more, and I can have all my words in there. So that's the plan. Let's get this started and pick something out. I don't know if I want to cover all those flowers. Oh, this pack, I tell you, so beautiful. Oh, that might be nice for on the cover. I'm just gonna pull it right now because I'm thinking like that big floral could be great on the cover. And I can't cover all this with all of these. That would just be sad. That would just be sad to cover all of that beautifulness. So lovely. You can see. Okay, so it's duplicate. So I do have like more of this. So I'm not going to just be like using stuff once and then feeling like, oh no, I used it all up. And like, that shouldn't be a bad thing, but you know how some pages you get really, Leslie, she's, some pages you get like really attached to. This is one of those ones, which is why I still have so much of it. And I have used it, but I also bought open stock, so let's just say like, so Leslie asked a really great question. Alice, how did you print the photos on a 4x6? Please. So I use iPhoto, which is on my Mac computer. And that is a super easy thing. If you have iPhoto, even if you don't store your photos in iPhoto and you're using something else to organize your photos, when you open up your iPhoto, it actually gives you the options to print your photos at any size. Like you put in custom numbers and you can choose what you want your size of your photos to be. And so I do that a lot. I do that a lot and choose my photo size. So super handy if you're printing like 3x4s or something. But like even this, I put in like 1.2 times 1.8. That's what this size was, and super handy. And I think I did leave my borders on, which, you know, wasn't the most brilliant, but I'm actually liking all the space in between the photos on the sides, but there's not a lot in between the lines. Like you don't necessarily get the control of having things exactly where you want. If you want to print other sizes, I definitely have also used a few different apps on my phone to print different sizes. So you can actually put different pictures into the app and then save that like a 4x6, and then you print that 4x6. So if anybody here has a great app that they use, then please go ahead and list it. If my phone is here somewhere, it should be, but I don't know where. I can have a look and see. Like I can have a look, and I can always put it in the comments, like in underneath this video, like in the description after, what apps I use. But like Project Life is one of the apps that you might have. But there's other photo ones that make it super easy. Like you just literally take the pictures from your photos and pop them in there and do that. But I do this one directly in my iPhoto. If you have, okay, it's not called iPhoto anymore. It's called Photos on your Mac. iPhoto is actually way better. I have to say, they did not do me a favor when they moved it over. Karina uses Project Life. Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of these are really, really great ways to kind of cheat getting that done. It's an extra step, so Project Life, says Betsy. Yeah, I know, like the iPhoto actually worked even better at being able to control some of the stuff that I did and organize my pictures a little bit more the way I wanted to. Switching to photos was, I felt a downgrade in the way that I organized my stuff. It felt so much better before, but It's the system. I don't get to choose that. Like, Apple doesn't come to me. So wish they did and be like, guys, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Okay, let's have a look here. Is this 4 inches? Oh no, it's a little wider than 4 inches, so I'll have to just trim that up a little bit to fit in here. So I do have this other side. I don't know. I like the polka dots so much. Okay. So, I think I want to trim it though. I've got like the polka dots like mostly cut off, but not quite. There we go. I definitely need to remember to put some new blades on my next order. Is there anything that you pick collage? Thank you, Karina. I use one. I think I have one that's like that. Patty says she uses Pick Stitch, Letter Glow. These are like super good. It's so good to ask when we have other people like on here, because there's so many apps. There's apps for Androids too, so if anybody's using Android, don't feel left out. There's definitely apps for both that allow you to do that same kind of effect and put like more pictures on, like, and lots of them are super easy because it's like set up like a template. So if there's a size that you always are using, then you're just drag and dropping them onto the template. So you kind of pick which your favorite templates are, and that makes it good. Okay, so this, if I want the front, I liked this flower, but that's not going to have the impact that I want it to have on the front. Maybe what I need to be doing is thinking about the inside of that flap. And I could double side this inside the flap, but I'd rather pick my stuff. I don't know. So what I'm thinking is that once I really like the polka dots, I'm not especially fond of this other purpley color. Like, I guess it's part of the palette, but it just feels a little, it might be good though. We'll see. I like this floral. I thought about having this on the front, but it feels too texty. I don't know. Too much text. Going back to the paper pad again to find what I like. Yeah, and I think that having those kind of tricks that allow us to kind of really make the stuff, Janet, she says, if you don't use apps like me, look in your photo editing software. There are usually basic collage templates too. That's a super good tip, because sometimes the photos aren't on your phone, right? Every once in a while the photos aren't on your phone. If you're using a real camera, like, imagine that. I should totally make that like a goal for like next year, to take like at least like 3 photos every month with a real camera, so that I have something like actually nice, like quality, something quality, right? Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one out too. I'm gonna need some little layers or something. Ooh. I wish I used this. We had a prompt about marble, and I wish I thought of that paper and used it. So many nice things. And I'm kind of staying away from this one because I have made it onto a page already. So I would like to bring some of the other colors into my book. Lightroom is a lifesaver, says Mickey. Yeah, so I'm like resistant to learning new technology, I tell you. Diane says she just bought a new camera. She missed having one. If I didn't want to go back to my old camera, which was good, I could probably just use my husband's camera that he's not using, and it's really good. So, like, I have no excuses. Let's just say I have no excuses. Okay, so if I had this and this, and I want to make the front really pretty and then open it up to all of the action inside. I think that might be a good way. I can do like 20 and 2020 or something. Just looking at how this might work out best. But this is like super posh and elegant. Or I could use this one on the cover and then do something I could use that other one on the inside. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. We'll get there, I swear. Sometimes it takes me a bit. Yeah, I really liked having a camera back when I used one all the time. And then I switched just for the convenience of having all the pictures there on my phone. And I do miss the fact that my phone photos, like, they're good, but they're not as good. Janice says, I'm so behind on things. What is the load theme for February 2021? I'm planning now. Fresh, simple, and shiplap. It's inspired by like Chip and Joanna Gaines and their whole Magnolia enterprises, right? Like, I'm so inspired by what they do and just like that down home goodness. And we're going to turn that into all of our load prompts for February. So if you're into Fixer Upper or if you're not, it won't matter. It's, just that down home kind of farm fresh, but it doesn't have to be farm, kind of feeling. So super fun. That's the plan for February. And, you know, if we're still kind of at home, it kind of fits, right? She's like, no way. Okay, well, that's good. I think she knows. Yeah, I was trying to look here because, like, somewhere I have a postcard on my desk, but I've moved stuff around and it's not sitting right there. So, thought it was right here, but no, there it is. I'm like, I just tucked it somewhere. So here is our theme: fresh, simple, and shiplap. That's what we are doing in February. And it is inspired by Chip and Joanna Gaines. And yeah, I think that they're wonderful. I love their spirit. So wood grain, I know. Yeah, we will definitely see wood grain. It'll be a good time to like explore your wood veneers if you have those. Heather says, I have been hoarding my wood papers for this one. So, and I think like just that homey feeling will be good. We will be home, says Donna. I know. So why don't we have a load that really fits with where we are, right? I think that's good. Oh, smack me sideways. That makes me happy. Well, I am so glad to hear that. Like, so glad. Because I think it's wonderful. I really do. Okay. I'm so undecided as to what I want to do on this cover. I don't think I want this. I just don't want this color. I don't know why. It's like not speaking to me. It's like that purpley pink that's not either of the colors. I'm like, make up your mind. Okay. Ooh, that wood grain. So what if I put that on the front cover and had it open up? I could just have like the whole thing open up, but I really like the idea of having a side. I'm very indecisive today, guys. Sorry. I wouldn't say that. It's just because I love this paper. It's like causing me like, it's just so lovely. Okay. Let's make a decision. I'm going for it. I'm going to cut some paper and then I will have decided, right? Gina says, Alice, I love your class. It is so happy. Thank you. Mickey says, why can't we get a good 12 by 12 paper pad of just beautiful wood grain? Seriously. So they actually made one that is all wood grains. I have seen them. I've seen wood grain stuff from Wild Whisper Designs, had a wood pack. And honestly, like there are a lot of different ones out there. And so here's a tip. If you happen to be going to scrapbook.com, you can use my affiliate code. That's all fine if you like. But no pressure. But like go to scrapbook.com and type in wood grain paper, and like you can just get like all of the good ones. Now, another company that makes beautiful, it's like Minte and something. Oh my gosh, like they made these farm papers, and every collection has like these colorful wood grains and stuff as part of them, and they are so lovely. And like you get like a teal wood grain and a red wood grain and like all the colors and pink, and like, oh, it's so nice. Minte, like somebody help me out. Minte, it's like Mintay, it's and something or other. Like, so yeah, totally lovely. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take 4 inches off of this one. And Heather says, I'm sorting photos on Forever. I got back some of my digital uploads. Boy, was I young. Well, that's good. But, you know, like, it's not like you're an old lady now, Heather. Come on. Like, it's how we age here that's important. Mickey, there was one at Michael's called Farmhouse, says Janet. Yeah, the Minte. It's like super nice, and lots of different kinds of wood grains, so I like that. But yeah, I kind of hoard them. Simple Stories also does a lot of wood grains. Like I actually made a shelf before I even knew I was doing this, actually, before we had decided on the theme for this one. I have made a shelf in my room just for wood grain papers. Like, because when you want wood grain, that is what you want. You don't want other stuff, right? Like, so anytime I have stuff that is like part of a collection that doesn't necessarily have to be with that collection now, it goes onto the wood grain paper. Okay, so let's chop the paper and make a commitment and get this on here. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Okay. And I'm going to cut this one too. Kaiser Craft makes a lot. Yeah, there's so many good ones. I love having, cut this at 4 again, Alice. Otherwise, you're gonna be sad that you cut up your fancy paper. It's like, what did I do? Okay, so I'm taking this piece off, but I'll just set it aside. So this is gonna be my front that opens. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry, I know I have like different things, but I love being able to play with the different scenes. I need to set this all up again. Like some of my automatic things stopped working, but yeah, so that's going to be the outside of the book. I'm going to put my 20 things title on here, maybe a couple little photos of something, and then it will open up inside and reveal all the loveliness. So that is the plan. So this one here is going to go in this flap on front. And then I think on the inside, I really want to use that spot paper. I love it. And we'll see. Ooh, this could make it brighter on the inside. Maybe then I wouldn't have to mat them, but I don't know. Somewhere I'm also going to be putting a bunch of words. Like I'm expecting to cover up a bunch of this stuff with words, actually. And I know, like, maybe having like a super decorative cover doesn't seem like an optimal use of space. I'm okay with that. I have a lot of pages that use my space optimally. I don't have to worry about it. Gail says Ella and Viv has a wood grain paper pack. Ooh, I love Ella and Viv. Like, they do all of these crazy papers that are like, they look like texture, right? Like they're super textury, or they're bright colors and bold, and oh my gosh, it's gonna be great. Okay, so this looks lovely. I'm gonna set this aside for right now and think about the inside and how it's going to open and what that base is going to be, because I think once I get all of those pieces sorted, then it's going to make it a little bit easier to move forward. I'm going to take these extra flip flaps and move them away. Now, here's the trick. If I decide somewhere along the way that this is not going to be enough to open up these flip flaps, I can layer in more flip flaps, like maybe underneath that 8-inch fold, right, with this piece in it. And I'll just show you really quick. So when I have this 8-inch flap here, if I decide that I haven't given myself enough space on this page to actually put all the pictures and all the words, so I'll have this on one side, I'm gonna have this on the other side. It's gonna be so beautiful. Like, thank you, Heidi Swapp, for making me this beautiful paper that I love so much. Okay, so once I have this with my title and stuff, kind of giving my intention of this page, I'll open it up, and then inside here, if I need more space, which maybe I will, because I'm gonna have some words, right? And all the pictures, and maybe some more pictures. I kind of want it to be a compilation of the whole year. Well, then I can take another one of these. I can take, you know, maybe one of the 6-inch ones, and I can layer that in here and have that flipping open too. Like, there's like no rules that say I can't do all the fun stuff. I could even do another one. I can have like a whole waterfall that opens up. Like, how fun would this page be? All of a sudden, I would have made something fun and exciting about 2020. So the sky is the limit. Now, if you don't have these and you're like, well, I can't do that, Alice, because I don't have those. Well, they're like really cheap from Close to My Heart, so you could always order them. I'm sure somebody here is a Close to My Heart, or just go to closetomyheart.com and they hook you up with a consultant if you order, so that's totally fine. But then you can do this just with paper. Like, nothing stops you from taking a piece of paper, scoring it, and attaching at the score line so that, you know, you can do this. Like, it totally works. Misty says, oh, there's a little bit of love going on. Nadine says, Close to My Heart has wood grain paper too, so maybe while you're ordering flip flaps, just saying. I actually order from Nadine's mom, so she is now my Close to My Heart lady that I always order through. If she ever stops, Nadine, you'll have to give me a heads up, because I'll be like looking for her. And the hubby is the biggest kid here, Vicky. Can my family just let me scrap today? Oh no, I know what that's like. Yeah, opens just like farmhouse shutters. That's right. And yeah, so fun. Oh, Janet says, hello, Vicky. I miss your videos and your sweet voice. And so there's a love going on here. Misty is here. In case you didn't know, Misty Murphy, she is one of our teachers for the upcoming Scrap Smarter experience. So while she's here, you know, you can pop over and check out Crafty Soup and see her stuff. I just bought Simple Stories Snap Studio Basic Collection, wood grain on one side and ledger on the other. Like, seriously, that sounds like a genius collection. Simple Stories Snap Studio Basics, wood grain and ledger paper. Yeah, okay, they're just brilliant. It's like they put out a thing that says like, take my money. And I'm like, okay, just have it all. Okay, so I think with this paper being 8 by 12, this is kind of like a little bit of a perfect spot for adding journaling. So we know what it's like journaling when you're writing in your hand. Mine isn't always the prettiest, and like, if I start here, it's pretty, and by the time I get down here, it's not so pretty. So I think what I'll end up doing is typing my journaling, and I'm gonna put that here. And you know, look at how much space I have now. And then I have so much space for all my little photos. So I think what I'm gonna do is start putting little photos. And I don't know if I'm gonna worry so much about them being that pretty. I'm just gonna start getting them on here. I reread some of my journaling from this year, and boy, do I ever sound disgruntled. I tried sounding positive, but failed. Oh, Vicky, we, we can so relate. But how fair would that be to your scrapbooks and to yourself and to your actual storytelling if you don't include some of that? Like, I'm not saying that we need to like let that be the focus of every page, because that would suck the joy out of life, but having it in there with our experience kind of makes sense to me, right? It is part of our year. It's part of our experience. So we can't just we could. We can totally write it out. We get to edit, right? We are the own editors. We are our own editors of our scrapbooks and the stories that we tell. And I'm like definitely a sunshine and rainbows kind of gal. Like, I am wearing my rose-colored glasses a lot this year especially. But I really think that, I have included some of the things that have been the frustrations, that have been the things that have made me unhappy. So, but by including all of that stuff in my books, it really does allow me to appreciate the better parts, right? Like, if we don't explain the bad stuff, then how do we explain how good the good stuff is, right? Like, it makes our appreciation of the good stuff less significant, I guess. Stacy says, "Hello, Alice, I caught your live. Yay, this is so fun. I love having I love doing this." And I haven't been going live that much on YouTube in the recent while, as I work on other activities and plans and all kinds of stuff. Oh my gosh. What? I've definitely found ways to make myself happy this year. And having two young men unemployed with no big future things happening this year, not good. There's been a lot of not good. But I have to accept the good too, right? There's both. Don't forget to give a thumbs up with Deborah. You're so sweet. Oh my gosh. And Debbie says, paper makes me happy too. Yeah, because it's not always rainbows and unicorns, but that journaling was part of my therapy. Exactly. It's you have to include it, I think. Yeah. So people are starting to look, and I am starting to think, if you are one of the pre-planners that has already figured this out, first, I guess we should talk about, do you choose a word for the year? Do you follow Allie Edwards? Do you do her one little word? Do you do a slightly different version? Do you actually take the class? Did you know there was a class? Do you just pick a word for the year? So quickly, there was a discussion on the Scrappy Like a Fox community with Tracy Fox, also one of our Scrap Smarter Experience teachers. And Tracy brought up the question. She was saying, what was your 2020 word of the year? And how did that go for you, kind of thing? And I know sometimes people are like, oh, I think I picked a word, but I forgot it. And sometimes people are like, oh, this word was not exactly perfect for this year. But it was funny how many people were commenting on that post. And with her post, it was there was a lot of people that were like, well, this wasn't what my expectations for this word was, but man, it really fit. And I saw your word, Karen. When I was looking at my comments and stuff from my last one, and peace was your word for 2020, right? Like, and I really liked, because you had like little decorations in your house that you had brought in to really help define, like, bring that word into your life. And if anything, it's like making peace with with this year too, on top of everything else. Vicky said my word was faith, and that stuck. Oh my gosh, Janet. I have a few choice words for 2020. I don't think so. When I sent out the invite for this, if you're on my email list, then you got invited to this. And if you're not, you can sign up if you wish. I promise I don't spam. I don't have time for it. There's you can sign up at scraphappy.org/subscribe. Oh, hold on a second. Do I know how to do this? Yeah, there you go. scraphappy.org/subscribe. You can get on my email list there. And I send out like a Friday 5 email most Fridays, maybe not every Friday, but most Fridays, with like fun things. But it also gives you like dates of things that are coming up or different events that I have going on. So that is a good one. Oh, I mentioned earlier, if you're going to scrapbook.com for shopping, here's my affiliate link. Oh my gosh, some of these things still work. I'm so excited to see that. Yeah, but I think looking back at the word I chose for 2020, because, oh man, I was on fire at the beginning of this year. I was gonna like conquer things. So my word was strive. And, I think in many ways it was a great word. Not necessarily how I expected, but it helped to push me. And I say, like, some years I get to the end of the year and I'm like, what was my word again? But this year, having the word strive, like, sometimes my strive was strive to maintain a positive attitude, strive to find, like, where is the joy, like, where is the fun, what can we do instead of sitting here and feeling bad for myself, right? And I still do that. I still do it. I sometimes do sit and feel bad for myself, but now I just go and sit with my chickens, and that makes me happier. But yeah, strive. And then also, like, I wanted to help grow our Scrap Happy community. And, I just want to spread a little bit of scrapbooking love out into the universe. And so I really was striving to do things to engage and connect with people. And and through that, like, through the things that I was doing, those were the things that made me happy. So while, you don't think of the word strive as like a joy-bringing word, it totally did. Deidre said my word for 2020 was prepare. It sure did have a different meaning than I thought it would. I know, it's like, prepare, go and buy all the toilet paper. That was one thing I didn't print on here that I really wanted to include with some of the memes from this year, and I just didn't get them printed. But I need to put some in here because I didn't document some of that stuff as we went. I made a page early on, And it was like a woe is me, like this is crappy kind of page. And after that, I couldn't do more of it. I just couldn't. Like dialing into that stuff that was hard, it felt hard. It felt too heavy. Oh, I need this to be fun, right? I need this to be fun. Vicky says I need a therapy chicken too. Yeah, I need a therapy chicken. Yeah, I have Nikita and George. Those are my two favorite chickens. They're both girls. But like, it's like Nancy Drew. You know, one of her best friends was named George. Actually, we didn't know if George was a boy or a girl. And then she turned out to be a girl. And everybody tried to convince me to change her name to like Georgia or Georgina or something. And I'm like, no, it's George. There can be girls named George. Nancy Drew had a friend named George. It's totally fine. But she got named George because she was like a curious chicken. So she was like Curious George. And she still is. Like, always the first one. Mickey says, since we didn't get to go to a retreat together, I've loved your Happy YouTube stuff there. Your scrappy YouTube stuff this year. Thank you, Mickey. Like, I know, like, it's like finding ways to at least kind of do some of the stuff that we love, right? At least do some of it. So, gardening. Oh my gosh, this didn't even make my list, but my kids put up the ceiling in the one room that was going to be our TV room that we never turned into a TV room. Yeah, so my kids actually built the ceiling in that room. Oh, I have to cut these ones apart. Darn it. I was like, maybe I'll just be lucky and all of the sideways ones will just all be next to each other. I wasn't that lucky. My dad made me a picnic table for my chickens. Like, hilarious. How fun is that? Oh, you can see my skin is just like totally dried out again. Coronavirus haircuts. So funny. I've got Ryan getting the chop. Oh yeah, here's my dad. Isn't that sweet? Dad made me a little picnic table. My mom was like gonna make like a little picnic umbrella for it. I'm like, they're chickens. They'll have like a bunch of mess on it, Mom. I think that's that might be too much. Janet, Alice has been rocking this whole year. Thank you. It's like such a good distraction when I feel like things are not good, and then, you know, I just know that I need to come and be with people that understand that. Understand where I'm coming from. Oh, this is gonna be so cute. So here's my little before and after photos of one of my boys. And oh, I didn't print the one with my mom. My mom cut my hair. She hasn't cut my hair since I was a little kid. Like teenager. I was a teenager the last time my mom cut my hair. And it didn't go well, which is why it was the last time my mom cut my hair. But she cut it for me this time, and it looks good. Okay, let's go back to this one here for a second. Looks good. She cut my hair for me because I was like nervous about going to the hairdresser, and yeah, so my mom cut my hair for me. It needed to be done so bad. It was like so stringy and tangly at the ends and just all frayed, and like she did a little bit of dusting off of some of the other pieces, so she did a very good job. I was very thankful for my mom doing my hair. Because my husband volunteered, guys. Like, seriously, he's like, well, I could have done that for you. And I'm like, nope. That wasn't happening. I love you, honey, but no. He did cut my hair one time, but nope. Everybody is hating the mask life. Well, there's my husband in his balaclava going shopping at Costco. Which he thought was so hilarious. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that he was wrong. So funny, though. So if you weren't making a page like this where you're bringing all of the memories into one place at one time, one thing you could do is just gather up all of these photos and put them onto one of those photo frames. But I think when you're doing those photo frames, it's important to kind of curate the experience a little, right? Like pick out like stuff that you actually like want to see. Pick the best ones or something so that when your photos are kind of going through the scroll, you're not just like getting 12 of you trying to get that photo, right? Like trying to get that good shot. Oh, there's my little happy at home house. If you're on my YouTube channel, there's a whole series of these happy at home series, and I drew that little house. I was so proud. I did it on my iPad Pro. And I'm not that artistic, so at least not when it comes to that kind of stuff. But there's a whole series, and it's all fun stuff. So if you're ever like, what else has she done when it comes to some of this stuff? Hilarious things. We did product kind of reviews, like explorations, not reviews, more like explorations. Like we played with like Nuvo drops, and then I did some stamping and with masking and creating like a little scene. And then I actually learned how to like do that like super good when we did a happy at home, or not a happy at home, a Scrap Smarter session with Sandy Boone from 3 Room Studio. I was like, oh, all the things I didn't know. So that was super fun. Yeah, Donna, it's a bad time to work at a bank. Seriously, he has gone in just like that. Like, where did that picture go? Oh my gosh. But like, he totally went into the bank like that, and like, they didn't even blink. They're just like, whatever. I'm like, and he just had to, right? Like, he had to. Like, oh my gosh. Camper life, Scrap Smarter experience. So fun. I got the Stacy one here. Oh, and this is, people are so good. People can be so good to each other. This was Zoom. This was Deetra's birthday party. This is like a screen capture. We're all getting together. We all have crazy hats or cupcakes and different things for her birthday party. And it was like some of our members, they planned this within our community for her. And I was just like, I love you guys. This is so great. This one has to come apart. My mom cut my daughter's bangs when she was 6. My daughter, 14, has kindly asked me to burn those scrapbooks. Oh my gosh. So, my husband volunteers to do a lot of things that will never happen to Christy. Diane says, I like how you kept some of the pics together. I think it'll work out when they're like together a little bit, and I think it makes less spaces, but I think that's gonna be okay. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Working on the chicken coop. I actually loved that so much. Working with my husband on that. I printed this house already, so I think I'm just gonna ditch that piece. I got this one with the actual words on it, so I thought that was more fun. And I didn't like arrange these in any kind of way. Okay. So it's imperfect, and honestly, that's like kind of perfect for this year. Okay, so I'll have to muck around with that when I stick those all down, but that's kind of the general effect that I'm going for. But I do have more that I missed on here that I really wanted to include, so I will have to print those off. And then I do have this whole inside flap to kind of add some more details there. And then I have this inside flap to do all the journaling. But I actually think I'm going to need to add another flap for more photos. And I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay with that. Because I don't want to like shortchange myself on the space for the words. So, but I think I can start sticking these down. I don't think I really need them to be in any kind of order, because really, was this year in any kind of order? Like, I don't think so. Let's see. Alice certainly kept us busy. Great escape from everything in 2020. Misty had chickens named George too, for the same Curious George reason. Nadine says, Alice, you did a great job of sharing scrap happiness with your Happy at Home series, your Scrap Smarter experience, and all the things. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah. This kind of stuff has really helped this year. Mine was Restore. I was focused on that for 3 months, and then it helped me get through the past 9 months. I know. We went into 2020 with like, good expectations, and then it's just like, you know, we all needed like that Rocky theme, dun da 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 da, like playing in the background of our life, basically like, you can do this, you can get through it. Adrian. Yeah, so fun. My husband volunteers to watch TV all the time. Oh, so funny. Yeah, so helpful, right? Like, aren't they helpful? Okay, so journaling, I'm not even going to cover this yet, because I'm going to type the journaling, and I might actually just put it straight onto some of this paper. I don't know if it's this paper, but some of this paper would be good, right? I can put this right into my thing. So here's the catch. Like, this is obviously, it's 8 inches, so I'll just have to make sure my margins are narrower. But I also can make it longer if I need to, if I wanted to. I don't really need to here, but you can make it longer. So you can either fit your journaling onto like an 8.5 by 14, which is like a legal size. So that's like a good tip. And then just cut your paper, and my machine will just run it through, even though it's not 14. It doesn't seem to matter, as long as you don't write on the bottom part of it. Doesn't seem to be a problem. Or you can actually, some printers allow you to create custom print settings that allow you to kind of work within a certain size. So yeah, you can really play with your journaling. But I think that might be a good one, because I think if I type onto this paper, that would be really pretty. But I think I would want to cut part of it. I might cut it like right there to make so that I cut off part of the flowers, but then I have most of it. I will have to kind of measure a little bit so that I don't print over my rows. But I think that would be good. Either that, or I could plan a little space, and then I could fussy cut some of this rose or something, like one of those out. I don't know that I have a bunch of embellishments from this collection. I may have. They weren't stored with this, which normally they would be, which leads me to think that I don't have a bunch of them. But that's okay. For titles, I wanted to put those numbers on the journaling, but I don't know if I'm going to need to now. I could take these little numbers and put them on some of the photos. And because I have lots of them, because they were for a calendar, so like you can see I've got numbers in little tiny sizes. I've got numbers in bigger sizes. I've got those same ones in little tiny sizes. And I have tons of these. Like, they are designed for a calendar that is like an undated calendar. And you can go through and just put in all of these little stickers. But I could literally, once I type out my 20 things, I can take these little stickers and I could put one of these on each photo, kind of pointing to which one. Even if like I need like 4 number 4s, I've got plenty of them. So I could totally use that. Like, I might need like, I don't know, like a dozen for chickens, but I could totally do that. So I think that that would be kind of a fun way to kind of do this. Donna, I had to go to the bank in the summer, says Christy. She said, I had to make an appointment. My daughter waited in the car and I was knocking on the bank door with a mask on. I guess she was my getaway driver. Donna used to be a teller. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like the stress of having people coming into the bank with masks on. I can't even. Like, oh, feels so bad. Oh, and she was going in for a large amount of cash, which made it even more funny. It's like, hook me up with the money. From my account. I'm not a bad guy. I used to use the large square punch from Creative Memories to do the yearly calendar overview. Why did I stop? You're making me want to do that again. Yeah, like this is a good thing, right? Definitely a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to make the insert. I'm going to decide on a paper. You're like, sure you are, Alice. For my insert that I'm going to do, that's going to be a 6-inch. So I'm going to waterfall this. I have decided that I will definitely need more space. So here's my next waterfall. This will open. That will give me a full 12 extra inches of space, right? So like, that's like adding a whole extra sheet of paper to this because I have the front and back of this. So that'll be great for more photos all over here. But they're going to have to get mounted on something. And should I use this lovely wood grain? I think I should. It's so lovely. It kind of keeps some of this dark feel through here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, and the other side is this. Oh, maybe I should find it in this paper pack. Do I want that to be double-sided? Maybe I do. And then I could use the other side as part of that. But then you don't get like the full, oh. I'm not used to using wood grains vertically, but I could. Okay, let's do it. And then I'm going to double side on this paper. Who thought? Who would have known? Breaking all the rules today. Gina says, this is going to be a great page. I must make one. Yeah, like realistically, I might not finish it while we're on here live. Let's be real. But I will post the pictures. I've been really good about that now on my Instagram. You can put numbers on the photos and a legend on the side to say when and what the photo is. Yeah, I'll definitely type like my journaling and I'll put the numbers like of my like 20 things list. And then I can put the numbers like on the photos. And because these are like little tiny clear stickers, I don't know if Heidi Swapp still makes stuff like this, but it was like a little calendar dating set. And I have a box for it somewhere. Okay, here, I can tell you exactly what it's called. It was for use with a memory planner, and it was a memory planner embellishment kit. And it includes some 3x3 cards, 2x2 cards, 3 frames, 5 binder clips, 6 tabs, 8 stamps. Oh, I must have moved those somewhere because they're not. Oh no, they are still in here. Look at me. Yeah, and so all these little pieces, but like these 172 alpha stickers and 12 floral stickers. So it's these little dated ones that are like the cool part here. So that was for the memory planner. Like I said, it's not a new item, but they've been in my stash for a while. And because these are little subtle things, when I put that on there, they're not going to like detract from the actual things. Oh wow, we've got some weird light happening. There's like clouds rolling in and right now there's sunshine. But yeah, they won't detract from that. So that's going to be great. In fact, I could probably even do some of that. Yeah, I think that, yeah, so this is going to go in here. Oh, so pretty. Okay, now I want this to open like that. Do I want that piece or do I want the other side? Oh, it's got like a little kind of little tape thing or the little edge. The edge thing I think is good. The other thing is I love the Close to My Heart page protectors. Their flip flaps are like the same thing, and they have such nice weight to them. They're super good quality. Okay, so this will open with even more photos, and then it will have here if I need more photos or more space for all of my story. That's going to be here. That's going to be so good. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. Okay, and now this will close, and this will close. So I think what I should do now is work on my title a little bit, because I think that would be a good thing to work on. Is bring my title 20 in 2020, and I think that's just all I'm gonna call it. Like, yeah, not really stepping outside of the box, but it should be fine. And I think gold on here would be beautiful. Did I bring some gold over here? At first I thought this, like I have a whole bunch of these dimensional elements, and I thought I would put numbers on these little stars. Man, the light, the way the sun is shining in here and it's coming through clouds, really threw off my lighting. I'm glad I'm not trying to film. It's terrible. And I don't have curtains. Oh yeah, and there's snow. Awesome. It is like becoming super windy and snowy. Great. Okay, so 20 in 2020, I need some gold letters. I have some here handy. Okay, so the big question is, do I have enough twos? This one doesn't have enough twos, and this one does. But I think the bigger one is better. I tried the sparkle, but it's not quite right. It needs to be the actual gold. I have another pack of this, sorry. I don't know if I do have another pack. I probably have them tucked into something. I have enough of these, but I definitely don't have enough twos. There's only two. Which is disappointing because I think I wanted the largeness. Let's see. It's snowing there too, so Nadine, oh, she's running out of twos and zeros from her thinkers. I was like thinking that I'm sure I have another pack of this because there's only a couple missing. This is terrible because where are they? These ones are just so much smaller and tinier. but they're shinier. No, they're about the same. No, they're a little shinier. No snow or cold weather in Sweden. So that's a good thing. Trust me, that's a good thing. We had like a bunch of cold weather and snow and stuff. And then like I was shoveling and doing all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, all the torture. And then, then it kind of got warmish for a little while, but we're heading back into the deep freeze now. And I think like it's going to stay cold. I don't think we're going to get any more reprieve from the winter anymore. So sad. I'm going to use this because I'm sure I have another 2 somewhere from this collection. Worst case scenario, I changed my first. Ooh, I could spell the word 20. That might look really nice, right? 20 in 2020. And then that would be, a really good way to cheat this. Okay, that's good. I found another way. There's always a way, right? Okay, so I always line up my letters on a ruler so I can like move them around to find the perfect layout that I'm looking for. So that's where I will start. That's the plan. So let's spell out 20 in 2020. It'll probably look nicer anyways, right? Than if I just use the numbers. Now, they should make a pack of thickers as just the letter E. I never have enough of those. I just started getting those color vibe alphas from Simple Stories, and they are a super nice alphabet. They are a really like font kind of alphabet. They're a really good size. They're kind of similar to this, maybe a little less chunky and a little skinnier, but they come in so many colors. So many colors. Let me show you. I have to show you. I'm so excited. So I don't have all of their colors yet. I think there's a dozen. But here, nice plain black. These are actually they were quite a bit cheaper than thicker. So they're foam topped. And here's a lovely, the colors. My lighting, guys, has gone so bad. Sorry, I wasn't expecting this. And I don't have any kind of curtains or blinds up here. So yellow and orange and red and green. I have a blue one somewhere too. It just wasn't in the same stack as these, so I had just ordered these ones. So yeah, I was really excited. It would make mix and matching letters really easy if you're going to do different colors. They have white ones, kind of in the soft white, but it's the actual colors that match with the collections from Simple Stories. And yeah, so they're actually quite nice. I was excited to see them come out with this collection because I'm like, yes, that's something we need. Now, also make this available in gold and silver, and then we'll be covered. Like, is that like not everything that we need? Like, I don't know. Okay, so another thing. I don't have a electronic die cut machine. I've been living without one for a while. I got frustrated with using it, and I just decided, no, I wasn't going to do that anymore. Well, lately, I have decided lately that it's time. So we did a Scrap Smarter free session with Debbie O'Neill from Scrap Me Quick Designs, and she just was like, she was knocking my socks off. And I'm like, maybe I just need to do this. Maybe I just need to get a die cut machine. And, you know, she kind of talked about the difference between Cricut Maker, Cricut Explorer, Cricut different things. And I was like, maybe I do need that. So I was undecided because I've also really been excited about getting a Brother's Scan and Cut. And I've been excited about that for a long time. Like a long time. And I've just never made the leap because I'm like, am I going to actually use it enough? But using cut files has become such a big thing. And I love using them, and I'm really happy that there are options for having other people cut them and send them to you, but sometimes you just could want to make them yourself. So I think I'm just gonna put it right here. It's not perfectly centered on the page, which is a little upsetting to me. Suggestions, feel free here and be like, no, Alice, you need to move it over to the side. Maybe I do. So kind of more to the center or more to the side. Go ahead and give me your advice. Because if I do it over here, I'll just like line it up kind of like right justified instead. If I do it over here, I would kind of plan to kind of center it. No, maybe I'd left justify it there too. I don't even know. But go ahead and share your opinions. I love crowdsourcing your opinions. So Karen says, I hesitate on the Scan and Cut because it supposedly has a steep learning curve. And I think that Julie Faye Fan Balzer has so many good videos. And like, she showed me stuff in person at Creativation the one year, and I'm like, I must have this machine. And then I'm like, went home and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not going to spend that much money. But Scan and Cut has them on sale, $100 off right now here in Canada. And so I was like, okay, maybe it is my time. They're out of stock. Like, I'm finally ready to like make that leap, and they are out of stock. Okay, so center, I like it on the right side. Here we go. I'll move it around a little. I think this is better. And then I think I could put like some little gold embellishment-y things right here. Wouldn't that be pretty? Yeah. I can't see the letters, just your hands. Oh, well, probably. Shocking. Because my hands are in the way. So yeah, the letters here. So yeah, what do you do? $100 off, but they're out of stock. So I filled in that notify me when they're back in stock. But do you think that's going to be after the 17th when their sale is over? Oh. And then I thought of maybe I'll just get the Cricut Maker. Looking in the Costco catalog, there's a coupon off. You can get this whole collection. And I'm like, ooh, it expired on Sunday. And I was looking on Tuesday. And I'm like, rah! So, that was my frustration this week in trying to like move forward with something that I've been yakking about for ages and not actually taking action on. And now I was like finally ready to move forward. And it's like, no, it's on sale, but we don't have them. And then I looked in other places and they have them, but they're not on sale. And now I want them on sale, right? Like, Debbie says that Silhouette is really easy to use. And I think, I don't know what has kept me from getting Silhouette. Like, I think that like many scrappers have used Silhouette and like liked it. So it's like, how come I didn't end up there? I don't know. Literally don't know. But I was excited. The thing I like about the Scan and Cut is that it can scan and cut. And then I can like stamp something out and then get it done. I did ask for something for Christmas this year, actually. I like the design to the right because the design is to the right, so the left to diagonal. Well, then I would have to put it over to really make it kind of give the feeling. I would have to have it across like part of this side, and I just didn't like the feel of that. That was like across the stripes. So that's why I went here instead of over there. Okay, let's see if I kind of made this straightish. Not bad, Alice, not bad. Okay. That means I can commit. So Gina says I have a die cut and a Cricut. I have like the manual die cut machine, which I use a lot, like a lot, especially at Christmas card time. For whatever reason, I plan to do stuff with stamps and then I do lots of stuff with die cuts, and it's like, got my muscle workout in making some Christmas cards. And I did ask for something for Christmas. It's actually related to my swimming because I like to swim. And when we built our house, we weren't going to build a basement. And then when we were going to build a basement, because our guy kind of talked us into it, we actually got this pool. It's called an endless pool. And it's like a small pool, but it pushes the water and you swim against the current. So it's kind of like a swimming treadmill, if you kind of get my drift. It's been broken for a long time. We tried to fill it up in January and all the water leaked out. That's when we were like, oh, it's broken. Great. So we, my husband finally got it emptied. Like, well, it was emptied, but got it filled up recently. And now I'm swimming again. And I'm really loving it. Like, really, really loving it. And for me, the one of the things I really like is listening to music, but I've tried different underwater audio systems, and I haven't found one that I've really liked. The earplug things don't work for me. I get water in my ears, and it's a bad feeling. So I've used bone conduction headphones, and those ones actually work really, really well. They actually sit right here on your temples, and you hear the music perfectly in your head. It's brilliant. But getting the music onto my thing wasn't very convenient with one of them, and so it was kind of like always a struggle. So I asked my husband if he could look into like an underwater speaker. I'm like, those are a thing. I've seen them like in some places, right? So we look online for underwater speaker for a pool. Gazillions of dollars. And I'm like, well, like, that's not gonna happen. I'm not spending that much money. Ugh. And so then they keep looking and they keep looking, and they find an option of this one that's actually like, reasonable, like not like worth a gazillion dollars. And, but then it requires a little extra tech setup. Turns out we know who can help us with tech. I have Joe for that. So we're actually getting that all done now. I got like, this one did not peel off properly. It's like not even sticky now. But yeah, that's fantastic for a family of swimmers. I know, like, I have always loved water. My parents did a Sears above ground pool when I was a kid, like 20 some feet, 24 feet wide, I think, and 3 feet deep. Like, that's what I grew up with in our backyard in the summer, of course. Winter, not so much. But, and like my mom would drive us to the pool, which was like half an hour away. And that was just something we did. Like, that was, yeah. Okay, and I'll do like a little tiny word that says in. And I think I'll put this over here. This is looking good. Yeah, so that was kind of a thing. And then I yeah, so they've ordered that. So that was what I asked for Christmas, was my speaker. So then if I'm like ordering myself a Scan and Cut or a Cricut or something, it's like, have yourself a greedy little Christmas. Or, you know, it's just like tools for the trade, right? It's a lot of shopping that gets chalked up to that. Well, you know, I need it for my creations. I need it for my stuff. 20 in 2020. So I just need the word in, and I think I want some little tiny letters that do that. Great. And then a little bit of gold embellishment along the side. Kettlebug for me, but the cracking sound always scares me. I think I'd rather have the Big Shot. Big Shot makes the same horrible noise as Joyce. Just saying. At least mine does. They do have different plates now that you can get that have like the... they're almost like a cutting mat, like kind of plate. I have my thing. Like they're... like a self-healing mat, right? So scrapbook.com just came out with some, and yeah, I've heard mixed reviews. I heard that on most dies they're great. On some intricate dies they're maybe less great, like when I was reading the reviews. Misty, did you get one of those? Or I think April got one. So I'd love to hear like more reviews on that mat. But I've seen it as a hack, like online, where people actually take a self-healing mat, they cut it so it fits as a plate for their thing. So are there waterproof submersible Bluetooth speakers that are very inexpensive? Not that we found, Karen. But if you have a link, send it over. Yeah, but yeah, Kettlebug. Yeah, the cracking. That's a business expense. See, Vicky, that's what I was thinking. It's a business expense. Diane says, Cricut user. I love getting the free downloads and fussy cutting. Also using images in Cricut. The magic mat. That's right. The magic mat. It's not magnetic, I don't think, but it's like a self-healing. So that, and they don't make the horrible cracking noises. That is true. Okay, so 20 in 2020. This needs a little gold here, and obviously the word in. I have little tiny gold letters. I don't know if those are right. I think I'm gonna look through my stash of gold letters and find what I need for there, and some kind of little gold, you know, floofy something or something that should come in along this side. It needs a little gold over here. And so that will open. And then this will have more pictures, more words. This is the thing that it opens into. More pictures and more pictures, because I want to print more pictures. I just want to have like this big collage of all the pictures. I think that's going to be super fun. Okay, I'm loving it. I am loving it. It's going to take a little bit for me to put together, but did you look at Amazon for your Scan and Cut? I did, and they didn't have any that were close to the same price. So the Scan and Cut was $600 Canadian on the Brothers site, which is why I don't have one yet. But for $500, I'm like, ooh, that's almost reasonable. Like, so yeah, I didn't, yeah, they didn't have it. And then when I looked on Amazon, the cheapest one that I saw that was the same, like, was like $5.50. And then I don't even know if that one had like the free Prime shipping. So yeah, the Evolution is a recent purchase from Blick. I've been enjoying it mainly because of the motor. Like, is it like a physical die cut machine? Yeah, there's some good machines. I really considered getting like the electric, the Gemini Junior. which is like a die cut machine, kind of like Bake Shot or something, but you don't have to do the cranking, and it cuts all kinds of materials. And I was like, that might be fun. Like, I did play with like a little bit of sewing last year, so who knows where I'm gonna end up, right? So I guess that's an item I'm waiting for comeback in stock, is the magic mat. Yeah, like they did have the longer one in stock, but I didn't really need a longer one, so that wasn't my thing. Anyways, this is where she's gonna sit, I think, right now. My lighting is still atrocious coming into this space with the way the sun is coming in. There we have part of a title. We have this done. It's totally incomplete, but you can see where I'm headed. I will post full pictures and everything on my Instagram. So be sure to go follow my Instagram if you're not. I am actually really close to having 1,500 people on my Instagram. I'm like not the biggest Instagram user, but I have been like really enjoying it. It's like a platform that I have a lot of fun in, and then I forget to like, you know, post stuff, but I'm trying to post stuff. If you're shopping on scrapbook.com, I would be appreciative if you would consider using my affiliate link, because that is something that really helps, just, you know, even a little bit. It doesn't cost you any extra, but they have a good affiliate program. And if you're not on my email list, oh, this is all turning on, not off. If you're not on my email list, you can go to scraphappy.org/subscribe to get on the email list, and then you'll get notified of other fun things that we add to the calendar. Our next Scrapbook live session is in January, but I have to touch base with my Scrap Smarter teacher. I think we actually have a Scrap Smarter like free session this month, so I need to double check on dates for that. So lots of fun things happening. If you're not signed up for the Scrap Smarter experience, please pop over to scraphappy.org. You don't have to do the subscribe. You'll see it right there on the page, and you can get information about that. Our coupon ends, like for the early bird coupon, that ends on the 15th. So you can save $30 with the early bird coupon. And we're going to have Allie Edwards as our keynote speaker. We have 10 amazing instructors. For me, like learning new scrappy skills is like the best part of scrapbooking. So hopefully, well, and the people. Like, is there a bad part of scrapbooking? Yeah, the struggle. When the struggle is real. But Leslie's just followed you on Instagram. Well, thank you. Yeah, and I'll post that there. I do post info about the podcast, so there is a link there so that you can go and listen to this podcast that inspired this whole thing, the 20 in 2020, for my 20th episode. That is on there. In pretty much every episode, I have like a prompt and a tip of the day kind of thing to kind of share something. I recently did, now this is a really fun one, I shared how to add a video to a scrapbook page. I did it in a podcast. It's that easy that I could tell you in a podcast and like actually expect that you can just do it. Like, it's that easy. But that you can see more details on my Instagram or on the podcast stuff. So all the good things are here. Thank you so much for joining me for today. Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful day and that this brought a little bit of happiness into your day. Best wishes, everybody. Okay, bye.